Welcome back. This is another Bandos Breakdowns exclusive. This week it's episode 75, and I'm very glad to be joined by new Chicago State Cougars head football coach Bobby Rome. Bobby, how are you today?
I am doing awesome, doing amazing. Glad to be out and about recruiting, kind of trying to close up the back end of our 2026 class. So our coaches have been working extremely hard. So I'm out here meeting some of the Chicago coaches, local coaches. So I'm excited.
Very, very excited to hear all of the head coach. And again, thank you so much for your time. And I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you're really busy. So I'm going to jump right into questions. The first
Okay.
question I had for you was sort of what made Chicago State the right fit overall, and just kind of why do you feel that you were the man to lead Chicago State into a brand new era of football, a new era that's unprecedented, and just start something totally new?
Well, first and foremost, when I look at coaching, I look at coaching as a calling. God told me my calling was right here at Chicago State University, and I couldn't agree more. Just the potential here at Chicago State, the acres of land that they have so much room for growth. The administration that I'm working for currently, Dr. Monique Carroll and President Z Scott, have been nothing short of phenomenal. And those are the type of leaders that you want to work for when you're looking at taking on a project this big. When you're looking at coming to a city like Chicago, one of the biggest cities in the world, one of the biggest, fastest growing cities in the world as well, so many different communities. I just wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to be a part any way possible. My gift right now is coaching football. So if coaching football is a way to get myself integrated with the people of Chicago, so be it. I love it here. The people here the people on the South Side here became like family. They've been treating my family like family. So the sky's the limit, and we're excited to kick off in 2026.
That's really awesome to hear. Can you kind of take me back a little bit and just kind of tell me the time in sort of, or at least a summarized version, just to kind of how you got into this position and just overall what attracted you about the job and just taking on and undertaking it. A lot of people they think
Mhm.
have a lot of questions about, and it seems like you're the man for the job to answer those. So I'm curious for you to expand upon that a little bit more if you could.
Okay, well, when to be very transparent, I've heard everything. I heard a lot about the South Side of Chicago. Just being when I was the head coach at Central State University, we had recruited a lot of students from the city of Chicago. Majority of them coming from the South Side of Chicago, and some of the things that they would speak about, the gang life here. And then they'll come and speak about also just how community driven that the community of the South Side was. When I found out there was a Division I university on the South Side of Chicago, I found it out back in 2022, and I've always been intrigued by Chicago State. It's the same school Kanye West. Made the college dropout, and the same school Donda West spent 30 years at. So I've always been a Kanye West fan as well. And it was one of those things where, hey, I felt like this school had a lot of potential. And I felt if they ever started football, I wanted to make sure I put myself in the best position to be the person to lead that program. I've been all over the country coaching football and all over the world, Russia, Miami, Ohio, Virginia, North Carolina. Now I'm here in Chicago. So I just thought, hey, why not go to the biggest city in the world, and spread my ministry there. The people here are great. I think that football, they have some outstanding football players, some outstanding athletes here in the city of Chicago. And I just believe it's an untapped territory.
For, for sure, and I'm just curious because you don't usually hear about this too often. What was coaching football in Russia like? Because when I was doing some research on that part of your story, I was really curious, and I wanted to hear just a little bit more about that before we move on to some other stuff as well.
Well, I'll say coaching football in Russia is a very unique experience. You're taking a bunch of young men who basically, just know what they've seen, on YouTube about football, and you're taking those young men experiences and you're pretty much, trying to teach them the game from scratch. I think the best part about that transition was we were dealing with a lot of coachable young men who
Okay.
wanted to learn a game of football at the time, and they were willing to put in as much time as it takes to do that. So, I enjoyed my time over in Russia. I spent three full years over there developing the sport as an ambassador, going to city to city doing master classes, and I got to kind of hunker down and spend the last 2 years there at Far East Federal University, where we kind of started college football there at the university, and it was an unbelievable experience. Dealing with young men who never played the sports before, but just had a love and a passion for what we did here in America. That's you got to understand. You were all the way in Russia. All the things that we hear about, Russia and the United States, and to hear that they had a
Right.
passion about a sport called American football. And I love football, so we had a moment there. We shared a moment, and that moment lasted 2 years, and it was amazing experience. And those tools are going to help me build this program here at Chicago State. Because I'm coming in a brand new environment, a very cold environment,
Yeah.
very very cold environment weather-wise, and these kids are very eager about playing Division I football, having an understanding of what the Division I football is, and just the opportunity to build this together with the community of the South Side and the city of Chicago. Everywhere I go, when I meet people, they're excited about football here in Chicago, Division I football here in Chicago. So, it's for me to be able to bring that to the forefront, or help bring that to the forefront, is just a blessing. And I'm very thankful that Chicago State has chosen me to be the head coach.
That's awesome. And kind of piggybacking off because I think that's very interesting to know. What would you say has been the most rewarding part of us essentially building a program in your or image, just given that it's the start of something brand new and you want to sort of bridge the gap between also not just the community, but bringing in players that you feel will fit the mold of your program. So just to kind of add to that, what would you say at least so far has been the most rewarding part about is just building something new and building something that you can truly say is yours.
For sure. Well, I think some of the most rewarding thing has been just the faith that's been shown in myself. And I'm talking about from my administration, Dr. Carroll, Monique Carroll, my athletic director, from President Z. Scott, our president, and our chairman as well. Starting there, with their trusting me, with so much responsibility of starting a Division I football program here in Chicago. The community, backing me and supporting me and trusting me, and giving me very positive words when they do see me, that coach, we're behind you. We got your support. We got your back. Those things right there have been so rewarding to me. The faith. Faith builds character. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
we're building character here on the South Side, every day. When we believe in something that's not there, I'm talking about a whole community. We believe in something that we can't even see, right now, but we know it's going to come, and we're putting our best foot forward, and we know it's going to change the South Side of Chicago forever. So just the faith that I'm seeing manifested right now in the community, and on our campus, and with our coaches and the players that's coming in. These players coming into nothing. They're coming in, and they're coming in to pour the concrete of this foundation here. They're coming to pour the concrete. And that means a lot. That means a lot to me. That shows the faith they have in Chicago State. It shows the faith they have in this coaching staff. It shows the faith that they have in this institution, and the leaderships in this institution overall. So that's exciting. That's exciting to know that there's people that's willing to bet on Chicago State.
or, or it's kind of with that said, given that it is your first season coming up, what would be considered a successful 2026 season when you look back on it in late November and early December and say we accomplished X? What do you hope? What do you hope that is as a springboard into the 2027 season?
Well, I'm gonna be very transparent. I'm gonna be very, very blatant when I say we're here to win football games. We're not here. This is not a Chicago Boys and Girls Club. Success would be winning, winning football games here. We believe that we can get that done, and we're going to show that in our preparation and how we prepare for the upcoming season. So, talking about it ain't gonna get it done. It's gonna be about us getting our guys in the weight room, getting them conditioning up, and getting them ready to go. So I'm excited about that next phase of our project, and it's going to take more than just being out here doing this. We got to put the work in. We got to bring in the student athletes that understand our vision, that's willing to buy into our vision, and we're confident that we're doing that right now as we speak. So right off the bat, of course, kicking the football off, making history is going to be very important, not only to the city of Chicago, but to the community on the South Side. But we're here to win football games. Make no mistake about it. We're here to win football games. We're here to send a statement across the country that Chicago is a football playing city, and we're not here to play.
And would you say that in most of the mindset, we're not here to play things like, would that be considered your pitch to students and alumni to come out and see your games this fall, or is there a little bit of a bigger underlying message there than just that alone?
Oh, 100%. It's a much bigger message. We're building a legacy here for our young men across this campus. We're building a legacy. Every young man that commits and buy into this situation, they understand this is not a 4-year situation. This is a 40-year situation here. They're
Right.
buying into the legacy of building something and something to call their own. So when I talk about pouring the concrete, meaning that when they show back up in this campus 20 years from now, they'll be known for the guys that poured the concrete for the first Division I football program, not only at Chicago State, but in the city of Chicago. That means something. That means something. No one could take that from anybody here that's going to be a part of the concrete pours here at Chicago State. So my fans, the fans of Chicago State, the community, we're buying into the legacy part of this thing. Like, we understand what this means for our grandkids. We understand what this means to our children. We understand what this means for our community going forward. We understand what the first Division I football program means to one of the biggest cities in America. So we are carrying that flagship. We are running with it, and we're looking for big things to come out of Chicago State because of football.
For sure, and maybe you can't fully answer this for me, but do you have any sort of idea, at least how much you can share as to who you guys might be playing week one, or are you not ready to talk about that yet?
Right now, we can't. We're going to have a schedule release that'll be very soon. For us being a first-year program, that we are a first-year program, everything is monumental for us. You know what I mean? When we release the first schedule, it's a celebration because we got the first inaugural schedule in Chicago State football history. And I let me tell you this: when you do hear who we play opening game, it's gonna blow the tops off the city. It's gonna blow the tops off the city, and I want the whole city to pack the house and come on out and let's watch some good football and let's crown somebody city champs.
So are you telling me that once the schedule comes out that even I may be interested in coming to the first game too?
Oh, you're gonna want to be there. You're gonna want to be there. You're gonna want to be a part of what's going on. You're gonna want to be a part of history.
It makes me feel very excited, and I'm sure something else that gets you very excited as well is the final question that I have. How excited are you to join the NEC in 2027? And what does it mean for you overall, knowing that you guys will be a part of a conference very, very soon?
We are thrilled and excited. We're so thrilled and excited. Like, all our recruiting, everything that we're doing recruiting wise is recruit for the NEC. We're recruiting to prepare to compete for the NEC. We're not just bringing in guys just to bring in guys. We're recruiting prepared to compete in the NEC and to represent Chicago State in the right way, and also to represent the city of Chicago in the right way. So we're very excited about our opportunity to play in the NEC, and we're very excited to bring our talents from Chicago down to the Northeastern Conference and see, what that looks like mixed up with some of that Northeastern talent up there. So bringing some of that Midwest talent to the conference.
For sure, and just to kind of wrap everything up a little bit in just the final few minutes here, any final words or any last pitches you'd like to plug just moving forward as we get closer to the spring and eventually the summer and fall? I will give you the final word, Coach Rum. Thanks again for your time.
No problem. Well, first and foremost, I want to say thank you for having us on your show. Thank you for having us a part of your podcast. That's first and foremost. Chicago State.
I appreciate that.
No problem. We want to make relationships all over the city. We want to make relationships all over the city. We understand the flagship that we're carrying here at Chicago State, And we just want everyone to be a part. Be a part. Let's buy in. Let's be a part of what we got going on in Chicago State. It's just not just a South Side thing. This is an all of Chicago thing. This is we have something to be proud of. This is our first Division I football program in the city of Chicago, and we're gonna do everything we can to make the city proud. We're gonna bust our butt on a daily basis. We're gonna get these kids that want to be a part of what we got going on here in Chicago, and kids that want to be a part of what we got going on from outside of Chicago and Illinois and Indiana to come be a part of this beautiful thing that we're doing here on the South Side. So I just want to thank you and go Cougs.
Yeah, for sure, man. And it's cool that you have the vision that you want to recruit the Midwest like no other, because that's truly the heart of it. And if you want to play in a true football city, it doesn't get any more real than Chicago. And I think that's really, really awesome. And I wish you the best of luck moving forward. And thanks again for your time. And I look forward to staying in touch.
Thank you so much. You have a blessed day.